She's now counting bottles. Sometimes in life you have to shut the door behind you, and that's the instruction. Shut the door behind you for you and your sons, and then start pouring the oil. Now, because this is a miraculous story, because that little pot of oil filled many vessels, because it's a miraculous story, we have to take careful note of the fact that when God invites you, asks you, instructs you to make decisions like that or certain moves, sometimes they may appear illogical, sometimes they may appear unorthodox, sometimes they may be like they do not make sense, as we say in English. But you know, again, when you are in that point that you want to come at, whether it makes sense or not is not the issue here. It's the fact that you want to come at, and you want to do it the right way. I might as well add. And so, if we picture this woman in her home, there are all kinds of vessels, all kinds of jars, all kinds of containers. And I want to assume that she must have asked her sons to line them up so it's not a disorganized operations. And she keeps pouring and pouring and pouring. And she gets to a point where she's shocked that after pouring for maybe 8, 9, 7, 10 jars, the oil is still flowing. It hasn't stopped. Two things to be said here. One, she can be in shock, throw the jar, smash everything, and kill the miracle. Secondly, she can come to that point where she just says, this is God doing it. I'm just going to flow with it and see what happens. Where I want to get to, which is the crux of this evening's discussion, is the statement that is made in verse 4, the last 4 words or 5 words, 6 words, and set aside the full ones, or set aside the ones that have been filled. The principle I bring from this is that we cannot do things half measure. We can't go halfway of the journey, because when you do that, you do not have the full story. Even in terms of economics marketability, your marketability drops because you have papers, but you have unfinished papers. You can say, yes, I was doing IT, I was doing IMIS, I was doing hardware, I was doing A+, N+, I was doing biology, I was doing music, I was doing geography. So you have an idea, but you have not finished. Because in life, you must pour into the vessel until the vessel is full before you set it aside. And that's the principle for tonight. Do not set aside a half-filled jar. You will not make money for it. People will not want to buy it. You must set aside the jars that are filled. So are you doing a French jar? Do you have a chemistry jar? Are you sewing jar? Are you doing something? Why don't you take it to the end and finish it? Because the principle here is that when it is filled up, then set it aside. Are there things you have set aside which are not yet filled up? I will say pick them up, fill them up, set them aside. Their value becomes greater because they are seen as full, and they bring added value to your own life. I want to stop here for tonight and pick up from here next week, and to say that until I come your way next week, this is Pastor Fob saying, have a good evening, God bless us all, and good night. Man, I'm tired.
To share information about life and expectation with an aim to create awareness and a positive change in our social activities. In this program, we have 5 segments: relationship and life.
I didn't have a boyfriend early, I'm not gonna lie.
I don't go around asking for money or any other things from guys.
I love him and he loves me.
Always try to know how you look, your body type.
It brings out who you are, it depicts who you are.
It's about how you combine them together to have the final look that you actually want.
She used to survive for how many years? 100 and something years. But now the life expectancy is only 65.
Let's say, okay, I just say, okay, I have 50. Tell them I'm going to, but that's what I have.
But if you want to be eating omelette,
The Grts.
Okay.
Why haven't you ever dated a poor guy?
I look for qualities, not how poor you are.
If I find my man on top of another woman, I'll make sure you see me. I won't say a word though.
No, unfortunately I couldn't date her.
Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye. Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye now. We're in our side. Bye-bye, bye.
Girl Talk is extremely entertaining and educative. Watch out.